The cannabis sector right now is absolutely booming, and it shocks me to see there is the largest SPAC ever in the cannabis side of things, and it's getting absolutely no attention, no love from investors. And I thought I would give you the opportunity before everybody jumps in to break down why this company has potential to be the best company in the sector. But right after this quick intro, we'll break down some of the best ideas that this company has, where it is poised to succeed, and kind of the relationships and people on board that can push this company to being the number one in the sector. My name's Nick. Welcome to Ways to Wealth. If this is your first time here, we highlight key events that happened in the market over the past week. We post a video every Sunday. But before we hop into the video, I'd like to ask you a huge favor. If you get some value, if you learn something new, hit that thumbs up button. It definitely helps me out and I would appreciate that. And if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button, turning that notification bell on. We do this every single week. Back in November, we got news that there was a company by the name of Subversive Capital that was looking to get into the cannabis space, and they were looking to do so through a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company. This happens to be all the rage right now, and if you're not familiar with what that is, I will link above a video that I did on this previously explaining what it is. But just to give you a quick synopsis, it's basically a blank check company. They look to acquire a company, change the ticker, and open under a new name or keep the same name. We've seen this across all different industries, but this happens to be the largest and most well capitalized so far in the cannabis space. And they happen to acquire Kaliva and Left Coast Ventures. And we'll explain later in the video why I think this will, help the company, help their bottom lines, and help them expand in the future. Just to give you an understanding of the magnitude behind this deal, Left Coast Ventures was agreed to be acquired for around $142 million. On the flip side, Kaliva closed for $282 million. As of Friday, the ticker will change. They will now be known as the parent company. It will trade on the NEO exchange under the ticker GRAM. What a fitting name. I will throw that down in the description so you can do some more research on that. But what we'll do next is we'll break down which each of these companies are and why I think this is a smart decision by Subversive Capital to merge and put these together. First up, let's talk about Left Coast Ventures. And what intrigues me so much about this company is the wide array of brands that it has under its belt. It covers companies like Marley Natural, which is obviously attached to the late great Bob Marley. You have products in there from the Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart. And then you also have the one that is most interesting to me, and that is Carlos Santana. They all have brands in the cannabis sector, which is obviously held by Left Coast Ventures. And it gives the company coverage from not only smokables, but it has the edibles, which are growing at a fast pace, the drinkables, these drinks that are infused with THC. But then it has a completely different segment, which is the lotions, so moisturizers that are, filled with THC. And then you have the bath bombs. So this company is covering every single part of this industry. The second part of the deal is a company by the name of Kaliva. And this to me will be the most beneficial as to whether the company succeeds or it doesn't. And this is because it has different multi-factors, different underlying themes that are really going to be driving its success. The first part is that 50% owner of Kaliva is no other than rap mogul Jay-Z. Now, not only are you getting his brand power, but you're also getting his brand that he recently put out, and that's Monogram. And it seems to be kind of the higher end echelon of the smokable product. And the second part is that it is an e-commerce platform which will provide the company with a direct-to-consumer model. So with this product still being illegal, that makes advertising and marketing an absolute challenge for this company. It's not like they can turn around in a couple weeks and have a Super Bowl ad. They really have to rely on separate entities to kind of push the brand and market out the product. That's why having Jay-Z on board is an absolute asset to this company. Not only is he going to have his own brand, he's also going to be able to advertise and promote and help spread the word of what the parent company is and what it could do for new consumers and as they spread outside of the California market. One of the ways Jay-Z is doing this so far is a new segment he's released on his Monogram site. It's called High Tales. This is where he's going to get his rapper friends to talk about stories when they were high with other celebrities. One of the ones to check out already live is Jadakiss. It was a great episode and a really interesting concept that I think a lot of people will tune into. So they have the celebrity power already behind the company, but the next most important part of the cannabis industry is the supply chain. And one of the ways that Kaliva will help out on this side of things is that the e-commerce platform provides a direct-to-consumer model, meaning that the company will have final touch points of the customers. They probably reach about 50% of consumers in California right now, but they definitely have their sights set on being the #1 company reaching all consumers in California. They have a target this year of reaching 75%. They look to expand that in 2022 to 90% of consumers in California. In addition to owning that final portion of the supply chain, they will also look to master all different sides. So having this greatest reach in California with the final consumer will give it the data that it needs to kind of push the most, prominent products to the top. They will also have a section for third parties to sell, so they'll collect margin on that. But going back to their own supply chain, they will be cultivating, so they'll be manufacturing their own product, they'll be distributing it, and they'll be owning their own brands. So what this all means at the end of the day is that they control the supply chain from start to finish, something similar that we've seen with Nike in the pandemic. Obviously, they used to use retailers like Foot Locker, but they've devoted a lot of time and money into really enhancing e-commerce platforms. So they do everything from manufacturing all the way up to delivering the final, product to the customer. This really helps the bottom line. So this company, not only will they get all the data, the consumer reach, the branding behind it, they will be able to be one of the most profitable if done correctly. Another amazing point about this company is that it is known to be one of the most well-capitalized companies in the cannabis sector, and this is one of the areas where companies are taking on a lot of debt to push that product out. It is a relatively new industry, so it's kind of very refreshing to hear that. And I know that I'd mentioned before, they had spent about $424 million to buy both of these companies. If we look at the projections of 2021, we see that both of these companies combined are looking to bring in about $519 million. So there's already growth happening in a short period of time, and the company is set to have about $575 million of cash in a trust. Not to mention the strong executive team that is in play. Subversive Capital was led by a gentleman by the name of Michael Auerbach, and he is actually a director that sits on the board of Tilray. Now, if you know anything about that, that's the first US publicly traded weed stock that went onto the market. It's been recently acquired by Afria. But basically what I'm saying here is that he has knowledge of how to work with governments. That's really his specialty, and the fact that he's already kind of done it before will be a huge benefactor to the company. Not only that, you do have Jay-Z, which is a massive name around the world. And then you have the different independent company executives who have grown the company to this part. So I'm very confident in the executive team that the company has built, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they grow outside of California and kind of push this brand name throughout North America. If you hadn't heard about the parent company before, Monogram, Kaliva, Left Coast Ventures, I hope I've given you an understanding of why I think this company can be a very prominent figure in the cannabis sector moving forward. Obviously, with the brand power behind Jay-Z, the fact that they're going to own their own supply chain, everything from cultivating to delivering to the final customer. And obviously, it's always good to have a strong management team. That's why last week I took a position in the company. I bought 100 shares and I'm looking to see where it goes. Obviously, there was a lot of hype in Canada back in 2018 when the weed stocks started to get legal, but I think it's going to be different this time. You know, nobody likes that saying, because the US market is always something that I was looking to get into. I think that it's a lot different than the Canadian market. I think with the different products that will be brought to the market and owning your own supply chain will really push this company above the top. Definitely do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this company. Are you bullish or are you bearish? That's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, a kind reminder, if you learned something new, if you enjoyed the content, hit the thumbs up button. Definitely helps me out. And if you're still here, why don't you subscribe already? Everybody's doing it. All right, thank you. I hope everybody has a great week on the markets. Look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Happy trading.